Right, hello there, everyone. Anybody who happens to be watching, I am James. Welcome to my Soul Searching with James live stream. I'm just going to be doing a little bit of learning Hangul today, so I'm just gonna start to put that on. I managed to do the first level yesterday. I'm actually hoping that my stream is better this time because I did have an issue. I didn't stream for as long as I wanted to. Yeah, I didn't stream for as long as I wanted to, purely because I need to turn myself down because that was a problem yesterday. Yeah, I didn't stream for as long as I wanted to because I was trying to do it on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and that my internet just didn't like that. I think it only likes one at a time, and because my primary platform is going to be YouTube, so I thought I might as well do it on here, and I've got YouTube Shorts going as well. So great if you can actually see me on there. I'm still trying to get used to the setup and everything. If people notice anything, then please let me know, and I will try and fix it. If I'm a bit loud, a bit quiet, if sorry, I've got my other screen just here where I'm looking. Yeah, if there's anything that you think could make my stream better, then great. And I will just make sure I've actually got my phone off the table, because that will go off and create a big loud noise, and that's not very good. Yeah, I actually did try filming a YouTube video yesterday, the first one. I'm going to have to redo it, because turns out I actually forgot to press record. Because I'm filming on my phone. I've got a good phone for film and stuff, which is great. But actually, yeah, it doesn't work if you don't press play. And the thing is, I didn't know because I had it was the back camera I was using, so I couldn't actually see what was going on the front. I'd done some tests and I'd lined it all up and everything. It was, it was all fine. I had my audio set up, that was recording and everything. But in the end, all I ended up doing was taking a still photo of myself. So I'm going to have to redo that completely. Luckily, the takes I'd made were absolutely awful. I'd have had to have done so much editing on it. Ideally, I want to do it all in one take, but I also know that that's not going to happen. But at least it's given me a chance to sort of redo that. It was just my intro video as well, like why I'm doing this, so that everybody can sort of get an idea. And why am I doing this? I'm learning Korean. Let's go back to the thing. Oh. Sorry, it's been so long since I've used OBS. I used to stream some game stuff. I actually got a couple of subscribers, nothing crazy. A few followers on Twitch. Doing a mix of, of card game stuff. I'm big into Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering. I mean, my desk is full of just cards and of all varieties. I've got Magic, I've got Yu-Gi-Oh!, I've got Pokemon, I've got Lorcana. I've got all sorts on here. So I used to do a bit of that. Used to do some games, some retro games. Probably the most successful one ended up being PS1 Harry Potter. We've got the classic PS1 Hagrid face. But yeah, so getting back into streaming is it's something I've been meaning to do for quite a while. Never really found what I wanted to do with it. That wasn't just like sitting and playing games. And I am a bit of an introverted person. I don't necessarily find speaking that easy. I am putting on a massive face right now trying to speak to you all and trying to remember to actually look at the camera. So if you see me looking away, that's me forgetting that I actually have to look at the camera while I speak to people. If I'm not focusing on, a screen or something like that. But yeah, I did have some issues with my stream yesterday. Hopefully, those are all sorted. But yeah, why I'm learning Korean? I'm hoping to move there at some point. In 5-6 years' time. Language learning takes a while. So if I get started now, I thought, I could stream so that I could monitor my progress. If people want to watch it, great. If not, I've got all the videos behind me, so I can see sort of where I started, where I'm actually going. I can see my progression, and then make a few YouTube videos in the meantime. And if I could get to Korea as a as a YouTuber, great. If not, that's fine. I'm sure that during my time doing this, I will end up speaking a lot about visas, looking for work, because that's my biggest worry at the moment. I am getting a phone call. I will be right back with you. Right, there we go. Back. Lost my train of thought there. Yeah, so I'm yesterday I tried out my live stream. Actually, my stream seems to be doing a lot better today, which is good. So hopefully it's showing up all right. Yesterday I did the first lot of learning Hangul. So I will be doing the second lot of that, and hopefully I remember what I did yesterday. So let's just get my screen up right here. Cool. Yep. So we've got level 2, round 1. White. Yep. So I need to actually put my headphones on. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it? So I can hear what I'm doing. There we go. I can actually hear what I'm doing now. So that's an S sound. But before an I or a Y, it sounds like sh. Okay, so how am I gonna remember that one? Hopefully it gives me a little indicator. I remember that one. So that's like a chair. Ch. That's a door handle, so that's D. I know that one's a B. I think if I remember it as like it's the bottom of a bottle. I don't know. I guess that works. I just remember it as a B, but remembering it is good. Right, so we got Busan is the road. is the word of the round. Second syllable, sun, means mountain in Korean. Okay, cool. Okay, so they've got S looks a bit like a mountain. Okay. Cool. Right, so we go with that's B, and that's under, so that's B, Sun. I'd really like to go and visit Busan at some point. Maybe next time. Hopefully, I'll get another chance to go to South Korea soon, and yeah, go and visit Busan rather than just sticking in Seoul. Seoul was great. So that one is right. This is where I'm gonna get tripped up. So I'm trying to remember that. I think that's an ah. Is that in like a swish? Sun. But that one is Sam. Sam is 3. Oh, so it's a bit like Japanese, so it's San. This one is Sa. Salam. Saram. That one's just so. It's so. That one is so. Oh, so I messed up the middle one there. Uh, that one is Sin. Shin. So it's Shin. Oh. Cool, that's the first mistake I've made, and it was on a vowel, like I knew it was going to be. Okay. Okay, that's cool that it's just like an arrow pointing up. Right, so we got soul. Okay, that's, yeah, I see that everywhere. Um, like we've got some things at the top here that you can't quite see, but yeah, there's a lot of the sounds. So we've got and That's not going to be uh that's not going to be confusing at all. Okay, so it's oh. Okay. I see it written in English as EO, or even just O. Okay. Oh, okay. So the isn't an it's like a silent. Okay. So that one is uh. That one's silent. I think I've seen it where it's used as like a like an NG sound as well, like ng. But I think that's when it comes at the end of a word. That one is a g. Soul. So that's soul. Yeah, we bought a when we went to Korea, we bought a bag and it just had like a big uh the big letters for soul on it. Um, so that one was yeah, and then that's the blank, but that's it. I mean, I already know how to spell this one. That one is go. Okay. That one is go. That one is just e. Is That's under, so that's chu. Chu. Son. Oh, just so. All right, so we got the D there. The O. Good. Dogir. Oh, apparently that's how they say Germany in Korea. Dogir. We got il bon. Oh, okay, so it's like ipon. Okay, ilbon. Yeah. Hey, done the next one. Yeah, I think that one is the one I'm going to get tripped up on quite a bit. It's when I'm looking at like these two next to each other, where I've got the where it's the notch to the right, and o, which is the notch to the left. But yeah, this is pretty good. So this is letslearnhangul.com. It's just it tries to get you to learn Hangul. It says it only takes about an hour. You know, I'm doing it in little chunks, but it's really good at sort of going over what you've already learned, as well as introducing new ones quite slowly. Okay, that was it. So it's the zero, the like the circle, making the ng sound if using it at the end. So that's ng. That one, it's under. So that one's ah. So Gangnam is the word of this round, but I'm going to do it bit by bit. So we got G, A, ng, and then na. That one is sa, salang. I'm mostly using the L rather than the R, just because I don't necessarily know whether it's going to, like, the actual romanization is going to side with the R or the L. So I'm just going along with it. It gives it right either way. We'll just have to learn some pronunciation over time. It depends on the word, I guess. So we'll see. So let's do sa. So that's song. Song gong. Nice. Well, those are just English. So PC bang. Okay, so bang is cafe. So that's myong myong mong mong woof woof. It's really interesting how different countries like say their like the animal noise is different. It's obviously because that's how they would hear it at the way back when, and it's just sort of got like a woof isn't really like a woof, it's more like an ow. So you might get like some countries going like where it is af or something like that. We say woof. Obviously Korean has their own one. Lots of languages have their own one. Right, with that, I'm just going to take a quick break just to have a quick drink because I forgot how much talking dries your throat out, so I'm a bit croaky. I'm going to grab a drink and I'll be back in a second. Yeah, I could do with actually picking up the right screen as I'm doing it. So we just learned this one, the placeholder ng, but it can also be a placeholder for like a silent like consonant, like a ghost consonant. If it's used at either the beginning or the end, beginning, it just sort of replaces the consonant in the sort of the makeup of the syllable. Just because they don't like it looking empty. So it's like a nice little like there's usually like two or three parts that make up a syllable in Korean. Um but it's only two if it's just the consonant and the vowel sound. It's three if it's a um if there's it always starts with a consonant basically. Every one. Even if the actual syllable doesn't have a consonant, they have this sort of blank consonant of the circle. Round 4, Korea. I don't know how many rounds there are in this. Let's find out. Right, okay, so that's a circle, but it's got a little hat on it, which is how I'm going to remember it. So, her, a hat. Ha. That's going to be another thing when things like that get mixed in with some of the other sort of lines and circles. That's when it might get a bit complicated. So this one was ah, because that's a mouth. That one's the blank. Yeah, there we go. So it looks like with a hat on. Prefix han. Cook. That's why the script itself is Hangul. Han for Korean. And almost all country names end in guk. There we go. Han. Yeah, so even though this is the same, it's either a G or a K, usually depending on whether it's at the beginning or the end. Sometimes it could be a K before, but generally if it's at the end, it's also a K. Right, so that is... Yes, this is an example of where it's only two, so it's the consonant plus the vowel. So that's ho, cho. So that's ch for chair. Is it not? Hush. It's under, that's why. Who, chu. Yeah, as I suspected, it would be the vowels that would trip me up. So it's under for who. So that one is han, hangang. So gang must mean river. Han, so the Han River. Yeah. So that one is her, and that one's over. So that one's ho, and then ho do. This one is ha, han. That one is the hanbok. Oh yeah, the traditional clothing. When we actually went to Korea, we actually went on the Chuseok, the Korean sort of Thanksgiving weekend, and it meant that we could go to a lot of the attractions for free because they were just open, and we had a lot of people around in hanbok clothing. You could rent it out anyway. That was just like a thing that they do. Yeah, similar to how you can go and rent a yukata or a kimono in Japan. Yeah, we could rent hanbok and go to like the big palaces. We didn't, but yeah, it was a good. It was a really nice experience, and especially seeing so many people out during a holiday is pretty great. Right, round complete. Korea. And we learned the h, so the h for hat. All right, so at the moment we've learned half of the, over half of the consonant sounds, and some of these are sort of doubled up to give little, like, particular sounds. Unfortunately, that means we've still got a lot of vowels to look at. Yeah, we're at 10 out of the 19 consonant sounds and 5 out of the 21. To be honest, I was expecting this. These are a lot more, just because of the way it's structured, these are a lot more sort of easy to remember. They're quite unique. You've got some that look very similar, like the g and the n sound. Then you've got the s, and then later on you've got the j sound, which is got the line over it, and then you've got the line over it with the little dash in for the ch. So you got s, j, ch. It sort of follows a bit of a progression. So at least there's a sort of, that's a way you can think about it. You go from sort of like the softest to the hardest. So like the s, it's a very sort of soft sound, all the way to j, which is sort of in the middle, and then ch, really sort of definite, talk, like noise out of your mouth. There's probably a linguistic term for that. I'm sure there is. But yeah, it's these vowels that are really going to trip me up. It's bad enough that I'm getting the o and the u mixed up. And then these two, I'm sure I will get mixed up. The a and the u. Australia, round 5. Right, so yes, this was another example. So j, so this looks a bit like ch, except it doesn't have the line above it. So I remembered the ch as like a chair. This kind of looks more like it. The chair with a, I'm thinking of a chair with a cushion on. J. Let's see if this gives me a little. Anything else? Oh, okay, that's interesting. So instead of using the letter Z when writing foreign words, you'll use the J. So that's quite similar to how you'd get in other languages that sort of approximate sounds. Yeah, so that's J. That one is off for over. U for under. Right, that one I think was ah. I'm trying to like see if I remember it without looking at the options. Or to, so it's sort of like a soft sort of to. Yeah, so most with the Z are transcribed as ch. Right, let's have a look. So we got her, and then ho, it's over, and then hoju. Very interesting name. That I'm sure that probably means something like sort of southern area or something like that. I'm sure because hoju and Australia don't sound very much alike. So we've got ju or jom a little bit. So we got gu go. That one's ch. Oh, I think I know what this one. This one is gochujang. Gochujang is delicious. I need to get some, to be honest. It's delicious in use in cooking, or it's just like a, in small amounts as a condiment, but for flavoring, it's incredible. So we got gu, ga, kaja, kaja. Let's go, kaja. So that one is a na, nam, namja, namja. Yeah, it's quite good that so this is giving me options of words, and for me, like I'm planning on consuming a lot of content. That's the point of sort of the immersion method. You consume a lot of content and sort of you piece it together in a more natural way. So you rather than learning a language, you sort of acquire it. That's the aim anyway. Yeah, you sort of like acquire the language, and through that, you actually learn it a lot better. And it gets fluency, it gets pronunciation correct, it gets actual sort of you understand more of how people actually speak, and that's so important when you're actually living in a country. It's you talk to somebody how you'd learn in a textbook, and people would sort of be like, well, that's correct, but that's not how we say it really. It'd be like me speaking in old English, Shakespearean English, not even Shakespearean English, because that can be even more difficult to decipher. But sort of old style English. If I went into the middle of New York and I spoke verily, we must away to this. It's is it correct linguistically speaking? Yes, but is it something that people actually like say in real life? Not really. Give me, I'm just moving my mic. There we go. Right, so this is a bit of a long one. Obviously my aim is to be able to like look at that and be able to just go, and sort of spout it off. That's my ultimate aim with learning Hangul. Um, I'm going to be, consuming content. Like initially, it'll just be, auditory. Like I'll be, I can have something on, I can watch it and try to sort of piece it together, you know, through, listening. But I won't have subtitles on. The subtitles will come later when I can actually read the Hangul script a lot, the Hangul alphabet a lot more sort of fluently. So really, I want to be able to look at that and go, so that's Namcha. What was that? Yeah, Namja Chingu, which means boyfriend. Which, plenty of K dramas are romances. I'm sure I will hear that word out there. But I think that was quite quick for something that I've really only been doing this. I did it yesterday and today. And, that's pretty quick. That is the advantage of Hangul. Is that because it's such a it's very prescriptive in how it's structured. You can sort of learn it. Understanding it is a whole other thing, of course. Oh, that's the end. Excellent. So we completed J. So that's another one. We've only got 8 more to go, and 5 of them are like double sounds, which just uses ones we've already learned. So that should be very easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the end of this level, and then we will probably finish up there. But yeah, I've actually really enjoyed this. Does it tell me? Oh, okay, yeah, this is the last one. Oh, there's only 5. Cool. That's good to know. There's only 5 levels. It's a lot with more rounds than others. Hopefully, I'll get to a decent point by the end of it, and then I'll look on to the next tool to see if there's a way that I can do it. I might start making flashcards. That's something I might do in the next once I've done these in the next stream, just sort of flashcards down we sort of go, and try to recall things a lot quicker. That's probably the next step, is to have that sorted. So continue. So we've got another one here. So this is just a blank line. So it's similar to in gur, but a little softer, like in like in book. Usually written as or just Yeah, so it's things like that, sounds that don't naturally flow in English. Like you might use them in words. It's not like we don't have the sounds, but it's using them as the main way of speaking rather than as sort of like a thing you don't really think about. That one is b. That one is like a Nike swoosh, so for mouth. Ooh. Remember what I said last round about? So because it's talking about Brazil for this one. Yeah, here's an example. Buraji. So we got la. Again, I know that will be an R, but that should accept it. Chill. Yeah, it's I obviously right now while I'm learning, I need to sort of know the romanization to sort of understand the basics. But then once this becomes more ingrained, I won't need to remember this stuff. I'll see that and know that's a b. So that is Han. Hangul. The Korean alphabet. What we're learning right here. Yeah, again, this is letslearnhangul.com. It's just a nice little website, very simple, and it just builds on what you've you've done, to help you learn the Hangul alphabet. The Hangul alphabet itself is quite like easy. People might see it and think it's very intimidating. But you compare it to something like Chinese, like it is very much an alphabet. Every character is a particular sound, rather than a character having a whole meaning or a whole word. Or you've got Japanese where you've got a mix of the two. Although in Japanese you've actually got each syllable is a single thing with the kana. I do actually know my my kana. I was actually learning Japanese for quite a while on Duolingo, but with various changes to Duolingo recently, it's not been great to use, and that's partially why I thought, I'm going to step away, learn Korean, learn things through other methods. Yeah, so we got here. So that's good. Good. I could type, that would be helpful. Good job. Good job. Written character. Cool. So that one is Chumki Chamgirum Sesmeal. Cool. That is Gasum. Cousin meaning heart or chest. Cool. Round complete. And we learn so even in just like 2 out of the 5 levels, sort of see there. So like level 3 will go 7 as 7 parts to it. There's still a lot to learn. Obviously the consonants are the main bit, but it's the vowels. The vowels are going to be tough. But yeah, so that's it for today. I'd like to do some longer live streams. It might only be that I do just short live streams like this, where I'm only actually on for about half an hour. Hopefully the stream looks good. According to my software, it seems fine. I had issues with like half the frames being dropped and constant buffering. That might have been because I was trying to stream simultaneously to Twitch. Hang on, let's just go back to this for a bit. But so while I'm finishing up, I was trying to stream to Twitch as well, and it just I don't think it will quite work out until I've got a bit of a stronger internet connection. My internet isn't great here, but we'll see. I hope I might actually try and film a YouTube video now. Now that I've got slightly less wet hair. I did actually have a shower just before coming on. I thought, I need my hair to dry before I film a video. Let's jump onto a stream, see how it works. If any of you have been watching, I've been James. I hope you've enjoyed. Links to everything that I use will be, like any resources I use will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will